Gamers, fevers, lurkers, grab your snacks. The underdog, the legend in his own mind. Jaybeazt, dropping memes and bringing heat. Jaybeazt, stream is starting, pull up a seat. Breaking news, trailers dropped. I react and maybe sound a bit shocked. New game hype, I got the tea. Call of Duty, Battlefield, come watch me. Not a big shot, just starting out, but I'll hype your chat and hype my clout. My aim's kinda bad, my joke's kinda worse, but at least I never stream with rehearse. Jaybeazt, underdog with gamer streak. Jaybeazt, laughs, reacts, chaos you seek. Warning. Jaybeazt, you may mispronounce your favorite game. Please remain calm. Chat's alive, memes flying fast. I may fail, but it's always a blast. Subscriber hype, not just some friends, but the fun and chaos never ends. Reacting, chatting, sometimes I play, even if I die in the first 5 minutes. Hey, new game breakdown, I'll nerd out loud, making jokes, looking goofy, maybe proud. Jaybeazt, underdog, but bringing fire. Jaybeazt, lo-fi beats, memes, and satire. Who's in chat? Beast back. What's the game? Total snack. Level up? Maybe not yet, but we laugh, we hype, you won't forget. Achievements, sure, but I miss a lot. Glitches, bugs, rage quits I've caught. But while the pros are flexing loot, I'm here, underdog with style and cute. Streaming news, trailers, reactions too. Sometimes I even know what I'm doing, kinda true. Chat laughs, memes fly, and everyone's hyped. Welcome to Jaybeazt, the underdog is live tonight. Jaybeazt, underdog, chaotic streak.
All right, let's go. Whoa, it has been a crazy while, but we're finally here. We can do this. You extracted early. Well, thank you for joining. It has been a big while since I've done this, so I'm probably gonna sound a little rusty, but no fear. I've got my don't shoot tea on, so this will be fun. Um, the reason why I have been away, let's not get into that, but not too much. But yeah, one thing led to another. I have told you this. Okay. I'll let you. uh, I don't have a coffee today. I'm gonna stick with my water because it is pretty hot, and I'm also trying to lose some weight. So anyway, we're gonna do a hopefully a short stream, not gonna be too long, but yeah, it's been a long while since I've done this, and there were reasons for it, including starting a new job and things getting busy with that. And I've been trying to manage my time, but to be honest, I've been struggling. Quite a bit. So finally, I've made myself some time to restart this tradition of doing a live. So I'm gonna try to do at least one live every week to start with. The only thing is I'm probably not gonna be able to do this on Saturdays like I hoped that I would. It's probably gonna be on Friday nights like this, but it could be either Friday or Saturday. So I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I make no promises at this point, but I'm gonna try to do this now and give it a go and see how it goes. Hey, welcome back. So no, I was just no promises were made. I was just saying that I've been struggling with time, so I'm gonna try to do this on Friday nights like I'm doing now, and I tried to get this started on Saturday nights like I hoped that I could do, but I'm struggling for time on weekends. So I'm gonna try to do this on Friday nights like today. Um, and some weeks it might be different. I might have to postpone it to Saturday night if something comes up on Friday night. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna try to do this stream today and see how it goes. I'm glad I finally got time to put aside to do this. So it's at this point it's a 80% yes. All right. All right. So I'm gonna try to put time aside to do this on Friday nights. But I feel like moving forward, it's gonna be either a Friday or a Saturday night. But I'm gonna try to keep it on Friday nights. That's my plan, at least. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, bro, but let's keep it going. The reason why I really wanted to do this stream today is because we had some amazing news finally. I mean, it's not like huge news or anything, but we finally got confirmation that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is happening. The remake is happening. Yeah, it is huge news. It is. I mean, we've known for a while that this has been going on. It's not like surprising or anything, but it's nice to finally see that Ubisoft confirming that this is in fact a thing that they're working on, and it is coming sooner than we thought, and that's really good news for me. And if you I'll just share my screen. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah. So they did a whole brand update thing. That was just yesterday. It was and this is the new head. This guy is the new head of Assassin's Creed franchise. Okay. So he has been appointed the head of content for the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is huge news actually. Because if you remember, we talked about how the Assassin's Creed head that's been there in Ubisoft for like 20 plus years has been fired or kind of let go. You remember we talked about that before I kind of went AWOL, and it was a whole thing. And then he did like the Twitter post and said, I was kind of fired and blah blah blah. He was kind of bitter about it. So, and we were speculated it might be because of how he kind of dragged this franchise down over the past few years, even though he has worked on legendary, iconic games like Origins and even Assassin's Creed 2. But he kind of lost his mojo lately, right? Yeah. So anyway, going back to this, and we didn't know who's going to be heading Assassin's Creed for a while, and we thought because Vantage Studios, I'll go back to myself. Vantage Studios is the new conjoined studio that Ubisoft has with Tencent, if you remember, and that's been headed by Yves Guillemot's sons. Yves Guillemot being the Ubisoft CEO, his son. And we were like, okay, Assassin's Creed is part of Vantage Studios now, and it's gonna be kind of shit because his CEO's son doing this shit. So I was kind of worried about it for a bit, and now that we got a new new head of content for Assassin's Creed, it's looking good. Hey, you're worried about me losing my mojo? Hell no, bro. Hell no. Come on. Don't shoot. All right. So he's got a little message for us. Let's
Hello everyone.
listen to that.
My name is Jean Guédon. I've been working on Assassin's Creed.
Bruh, I don't get these French names. Jean Guédon.
My name is Jean Guédon.
Jean
I've been
Guédon.
working on Assassin's Creed for more than a decade, starting with AC1 up to Origins.
It's because Ubisoft is a French company. Everyone's French.
Seen this series grow from a bold experiment into something that spans generations of players, immersing them in pivotal moments of history that still resonate today. I know how much this series means to our teams and how much it means.
Hey, wait. You didn't know that? You didn't know that Ubisoft was French company? Come on. Come on. You're the biggest fan of Assassin's Creed. This is basic information.
Means to you. I also know how much scrutiny surrounds it,
Nah.
especially lately. I've recently stepped into a new role, overseeing the Assassin's Creed franchise as head of content.
Fair
And
enough. Fair
part
enough.
of that responsibility is making sure we maintain a clear, consistent dialogue about our vision.
Hey, I like that.
One that fully embraces the franchise's roots and DNA, while also pushing toward innovation and exciting new experiences for you to discover. Today,
Hey, I would argue that Assassin's Creed Unity is probably the only game Ubisoft has worked so much on compared to every other game in Assassin's Creed franchise. They put in so much detail into Unity. It was kind of ahead of its time when it came out. Yes, it was buggy, and yes, it was buggy. It kind of didn't perform well. The performance was shit, and it took a while for them to fix that. But the game is so good in terms of like graphical fidelity, and the story is actually pretty good. I love Arno. In terms of graphical fidelity, it's so good. It's ahead of its time, and it still holds up to this day. And they just released a 60 FPS patch for that on Xbox and PS5, and it's looking still good. And none of the other AC games have aged as well as Unity. Yeah. I mean, they're both running the same kind of engine and same kind of mechanics. I think Unity and Syndicate, they sort of like go together. But yeah, I get what you mean. Don't shoot. All right.
we want to give an overview
Anyway,
of where we stand.
so-
and what 2026 is shaping.
Let's pause that. So essentially, he's like, showing his excitement about the franchise's future, and not only that, he actually gave us some tiny bits of information about what's going to happen with the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is awesome, right? Hey, welcome to the stream, Angela. Yeah, so let's get into that. I'll just make this big so you can see it better. By now. All right, so the most before we get into Black Flag stuff, they have confirmed that Hexe is still very much a work in progress. That's still coming. Like we knew it was going on. The Ubisoft Montreal is working on that game, which is it is the Hexe. It is the Witch Trial. Not Witch Trial. The Witch one. Yes. So they said expect a unique, darker, narrative-driven Assassin's Creed experience set during a pivotal moment in history. Obviously, they're still not giving away much about it, but it's good to see that it is still going on. Not Salem. I think it's like mid-century Europe, where like all the witchcraft stuff were happening. But yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be pretty dark, and I'm here for it. And the other piece of news that I was really excited to hear about was the fact that Codename Invictus is still going ahead. If you remember, I talked about Codename Invictus, which is supposed to be their PvP Assassin's Creed experience. And I wonder if the Templars will be the witch hunters and the assassins are the witches. Maybe it would kind of make sense. Again, I'm not gonna predict anything because they really haven't given us much to go with. So don't know what their take is. All we know is that it's gonna be very narrative focused and very dark. Tighter game than what we've come to expect with an Assassin's Creed game. So I'm expecting the world to be a lot smaller, but with a lot more shit to do, more tightly packed, more dense, with a focus heavily on the main campaign progression rather than, and also very narrative focus, which means like you'll have structured missions that you're supposed to follow and do, rather than like unstructured missions that we've been getting with later games like Shadows and Mirage, where you can complete all the missions in any order. I think they're gonna pull back away from that with Hexe. Anyway, that's all we know. That's all we know. But yeah, going back to Invictus, we were worried about it because it was supposed to be this PvP multiplayer thing, and even people inside were saying that no one inside likes working on it, and it's this shit PvP, and it's not even like the PvP we used to get from multiplayer Assassin's Creed multiplayer back in the day, like back in the Assassin's Creed 2 days. So I was a little skeptical. Hearing about that news back about a month ago, but according to new head of content of Assassin's Creed, though, they're saying that apparently it's not quite what the rumors have suggested. They are apparently taking a lot of feedback and with this approach and doing this, testing and learning approach with the game. That's what they have said. And yeah, there's a lot to expect with it. So who knows, man? Who knows? This might as well be just, business jargon, the corporate language, the corporate BS that you push out to soothe fans or whatever. Who knows? But yeah, it might be that, but who knows? But the thing is, Invictus is still a work in progress. It might be something different to what we've heard, though. So that's the exciting part, I guess. Ah, very good, very good. All right, hurry up back. Anyway, beyond these, they have also said Assassin's Creed Jade is also work in progress as well. Assassin's Creed Jade, if you know, is one of the games that's been in development for mobile platform, right? This was shown off back in the day. Yeah. So if you remember this was shown off back in the day, and this was supposed to be exclusively for mobile platforms, and it was set in ancient China, and it was supposed to come out like 2 years ago, and nothing has happened since then. And we've heard rumors about this being delayed internally. Some have said that it's been scrapped away, and then the studio that was working on it actually has been laid off. That happened a couple of months ago, and we talked about this a lot in our previous streams, and we weren't sure where this was going, because now that the studio that was working on it's been laid off and everything, what the hell is happening with Jade? No one, because where they announced a number of cancellations for the upcoming games, Jade wasn't one of them. Jade was still supposed to be in development because they didn't openly cancel it. So we were all like, what the hell is going on? So I guess now we know that it is still very much in development because they are working on it. So that's what he says. Beyond these, we have several other projects currently in the works, all at different stages of development, including Assassin's Creed Jade. We're also looking into bringing co-op back to Assassin's Creed, a detail we know didn't go unnoticed. Okay, and while we recently choose to pivot away from an early project, the lessons from that work are already helping shape our approach going forward. Okay, so that's great. Very, very, very good. Speculation around Assassin's Creed is not new, but it's worth repeating. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Well, except in this case, some whispers have a little more wind in their sails. Keep your spyglass on the horizon. That's all they have said about Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Oh, welcome back. Yeah, so they've said, they said some whispers have a little more wind in their sails. Keep your spyglass on the horizon. But no. They also posted this image. This is an official image by Ubisoft, and with the name. Okay, that is official confirmation that Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is happening, because they didn't even confirm the game or the name for the game yet. This is the first time they have done it. So this is official confirmation. And no, this is literally the message from the content head of Assassin's Creed posting on Ubisoft site saying that. And they have said the first reveal of Assassin's Creed Resynced should be expected in around April, so in about a month or so. That's actually good news. I don't know if that means if they are getting ready to drop it pretty soon after April. So, but that's actually good news, right? But this also means they're pivoting away from, my suggested marketing tactic of shadow dropping the damn thing. All right. Yeah, it does. It does. I don't know if it. Yeah, it was supposed to be. They were supposed to release it before the end of this. Before the end of this financial year for Ubisoft, which ends in. Hang on. No, hang on. It doesn't fit. It doesn't really fit, because it was supposed to be end of March, right? 31st of March is the end of financial year. But they're doing the first reveal for Assassin's Creed Resynced supposedly now in April, which means they internally push this to the next financial year. So now you're looking at anytime between, April to next year, March. That's the new financial year for them. So, yeah, surely they're not shadow dropping it. I thought they would do it, but I don't know. It looks like they're not going to go down that path. They have revealed it now. They've officially revealed it. But the fact that they have said, keep your spyglass on the horizon, that is telling me there's going to be something revealed pretty soon. And if they're doing this correctly, I really want them to not do like a huge marketing campaign for it that has like a 6-month span like they normally do, and then just fucking drop it. Like they do the reveal and be like, yo, this is available tonight or some shit like that. I really want them to do that, because that will make people go absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. And if April might be a really good time to be dropping a game, because that's like well before all the massive hits are dropping for the year, and they got quite a bit of time for people to try this game out and actually give time for it. So yeah, I don't know. April is a good month to be dropping it. April, May is a little packed. So yeah, who knows? I mean, we're just speculating here, but it would be really, really good if they just do a reveal of the game and then just say it's available now. I really hope they still do that. They still can kind of shadow drop it if they want to do this and drive people crazy with it. Like, absolutely, like, I know I would go absolutely nuts and end up fucking buying it straight away if they do that. But if they drag it out with a really long ass marketing cycle and make us wait for it, yeah, I don't know. I feel like people will start picking the game apart, and it'll lead to classic Ubisoft tropes, like, people picking on every little thing about it, and the excitement will go away. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, Other than that, they've just said there's going to be Netflix live action stuff happening, which I'm not particularly excited about. I don't really give a shit. All the people push a shadow. Yeah, they did, rightfully so. The game is gorgeous, but the story itself isn't nothing to write home about. It's just bland, and you feel it more once you play Ghost of Yote, which is kind of a similar game, and then you realize how much better that game could have been, and then it really sucks. Anyway, other than that, they just, like I said before, they dropped a free 60 FPS patch tomorrow, which is today, so it's already out now. So if you want to play Unity, you can play that in 60 FPS glory on Xbox and PS5 now. So AC Black Flag, man. Right now in Assassin's Creed franchise, I think that's the only game that I'm really looking forward to at the moment, right? Yoda is here? Oh, hello. Look who tuned into the stream, man. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. He said he will try to join. I didn't actually think he would, but there you go. Well, Black Flag. Black Flag is my Ubisoft Game of the Year if it drops this year. If it doesn't, that sucks. But yeah, even Hexe, that's a while away, right? It's a while away, so we don't know when that's coming. I am excited for Hexe, but more than that, I'm excited for Black Flag Remake. But at least they have made it official. It's coming, and we can just wait for it now, and hopefully it drops soon. So that's Assassin's Creed news. We're gonna move on to just want to fight sharks and kill whales. I feel like because they have also said in that blog post, they are also working on reintroducing PvP elements back into Assassin's Creed. I feel like we're gonna have PvP elements in Assassin's Creed Black Flag as well. I would be surprised if they don't do that, because they already done a PvP version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag with Skull and Bones, where it didn't work out as well because it sucked. But at its core, it is an Assassin's Creed, Black Flag naval combat, just extracted from the game, and just that part, right? So, and if you really play the naval combat part in Assassin's Creed, so in Skull and Bones, that shit was actually fun. What wasn't fun was the whole progression system and lack of story and the lack of freedom to roam around. That was really shit, because it's like just the naval warfare part of Assassin's Creed Black Flag as a full game without everything else. So it's like half a game. That's why it tanked, because nobody really liked to not have freedom to roam around, right? So I think this is if they learned anything from that, they would 100% will be including PvP, naval warfare in Black Flag Resynched. It's like a no-brainer at this point. And if they don't include that, I'll be very surprised, because Ubisoft will try to put in online service games wherever they can. This is the perfect place to put it and make sure that it will actually have some sort of a player base, because it is right at home in Assassin's Creed world, and it's attached to the whole Black Flag franchise, which is awesome. And then you can utilize that to actually build story, characters, and a really awesome progression system in the online element of it concerning the naval warfare. I think it'll work if they actually do that, but we'll see. Nothing is confirmed. Like they said, what? Nothing is true. Everything is permitted, right? So we'll see. All right, moving on from Assassin's Creed shit. Um, the next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that Sony has pulled an entire 180 on their strategy to release PlayStation exclusives on PC. So if you've been tuning in, you know that we talked a lot about how Sony PlayStation has been releasing their old and also new hits um, on PC. Even like going all the way back to like God of War games from back in 2018, they released them on PC. And also like the later hits like The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, they released on PC, and even Marvel Spider-Man 1 and 2. So it's interesting that they've now saying they don't want to do it anymore. So I have some thoughts. So let's get into it. Hey, you done? All right, man. Cheers, bye bye. Thanks for tuning in. But you're gonna miss some good shit, man. I'm gonna get into some really good shit today because today I have a very carefully curated list of shit to get through. Okay. In a bit I'll be going through this after the Sony stuff. We'll be looking at uh you'll rewatch this shit. Yeah, bro's in Malaysia. Unpredictable internet, bro. But yeah, now we will be talking about Crimson Desert, which is dropping soon. There's some new gameplay elements that I want to talk about before it's dropping literally in about a week and a half, which is exciting. And Resident Evil Requiem is already out, and we're going to be talking about that. So all that, and Ali's favorite, HighGuard. I have some stuff to talk about HighGuard. So we'll be talking about that as well. Okay, and not just Sony, Xbox also have some Xbox news. So I'll be getting into that a little bit as well. And also, I also want to check out the new gameplay trailer for one of the games I was really excited about. That was a game developed by Sri Lankan developers. Not the game that I reviewed, but this is a game that was actually shown off in Tokyo Game Show, and it is coming out soon. They have released a gameplay trailer. It's called Song of Kings, and I talked about this like few months back, and now they finally released a gameplay trailer for it. So I want to look into that and see how that is. So yeah, there's a few bit to get through. Requiem stream. Yeah, Requiem stream. I haven't bought the game or played it yet, but yeah, if you guys want me to do it, 100% I will do it. But yeah, we've been playing Arc Raiders and not even have time to play Battlefield 6, man. So it's been tough to find some time to actually play some games, you know. Well, I haven't bought it. I'll let you know in the next stream. So tune in for that. Yeah. So Requiem, I think I will play soon because it is a game that I really want to play. The reason why I didn't get into it now is because I know Crimson Desert is dropping in a couple of weeks, and I know I'm gonna be buying that and playing it straight away. So it is dropping March 19th. Today is 6th. We are. It's literally just over, like, just less than 2 weeks away. So I'm pretty sure he's already playing it. I'm pretty freaking sure. I would be surprised if he isn't. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a skip for now because I wanna put my time towards Crimson Desert. I don't wanna be stuck in playing Requiem and delay my Crimson Desert playthrough. That's the reason why I didn't get it yet. Mostly. So let's see how Crimson Desert go, because I will be 100% doing Crimson Desert stream when it comes out. I have already pre-ordered it and ready to go. and we will do a Requiem stream soon after that, because Crimson Desert realistically is not a game that you can stream in its full in its entirety, because it's a long, massive open world game. So I'll be just doing watch him not play it as much. No. I will be definitely doing a Crimson Desert playthrough, just a little bit to give my first impressions and stuff like that. But after that, maybe we can do a Requiem playthrough. That would be fun, because it's a horror game. So, and I don't think it's gonna be as long. It'll be over quick. So we'll probably do a few runs and it'll be finished. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, going back. Has to be at night. It will have to be anyway, because I don't have time during the day to play, bro. So definitely at night. Maybe schedule some for upcoming long weekends and stuff. I wish Crimson Desert came up. Yeah, that's water. I don't have my latte today. No coffee. No. I just needed some water. I was really thirsty. When you want water, you need water, you know? So, anyway. Bro, getting back to Sony, okay? I have some thoughts on this whole thing, because it's really interesting. Also, ignore my my archive thingy. This is actually on Bloomberg, but I don't want to pay for it's paywalled. The article is paywalled, so I'm using this extension to access the full article, because I don't believe in paying for news. News should be free for everybody. So yeah, ignore that whole thing. Anyway, moving on. Sony is now pulling back, which is very, very interesting. This is what it says. Sony Group Co. no longer plans to release its big PlayStation 5 games on PC. Major shift in strategy that sees the video game maker returning to console exclusively after 6 years of flirting with multi-platform releases, according to people familiar with the company's plans. So this is obviously not something they have publicly announced or anything. It's just people who are working in the company sort of leaked information about it. The funny thing is, games like Marathon, Marvel Tokon is the Asian fighting game that's coming out soon. Those will be releasing across multiple platforms because they're online multiplayer, but their single player titles like Ghost of Yote, the upcoming Saros, will remain exclusive to PlayStation 5, which is very, very interesting. And this is going to extend to the the later upcoming games as well, like the Wolverine probably, which is interesting. And they're still going to be releasing Death Stranding 2 and like a few other games that they already announced that they will be releasing for PC, but everything that they didn't announce for PC, I don't think they're going to do that anymore. And I think there is a few reasons for this, right? I think, in my opinion, they were pretty open to releasing these PC games, before, because it looked like the whole industry is going towards that, including Xbox. Xbox has always released their games on PC, and Xbox looked at like they kind of forfeited their console war with PlayStation, which gave PlayStation confidence to actually start putting their exclusives on Steam, which made sense. More choice to the players, yada yada, which is great. But now, I think Sony kind of panicked a little bit when Xbox announced that they are still working on a next gen Xbox, which will be able to play both PC games and Xbox games. Now, to be fair, they haven't specified that when they said PC games, it's going to be PC games working through their own Xbox store that you can play, which will be the same thing as like what they've done previously, because Xbox releases games on their Xbox PC as well, or through the Xbox store, right? Um, but I don't know if they meant if you can play all the PC games through like Epic Game Store and Steam and stuff like that. If they can do that, hey bro, Xbox Master Race, come on. They more like PC, but anyway, yeah, if the new Xbox can actually play Steam games, which means for PlayStation, they will be risking having their exclusive to be able, like exclusive being played on an Xbox, which I'm pretty sure all the investors and the management people in Sony would not want. And I think the fact that Xbox announced this whole Project Helix, which is what the code name is for their next Xbox console project, and having them say things like the next Xbox can play PC games and all that, I think that is the reason why Sony abruptly did a 180 on releasing their exclusives on PC, which makes sense because yeah, if I was Sony, I would be like, oh shit, that means like if you have an Xbox, then you don't even have to buy a PS5 anymore, because then you can play all the PS5 games on Xbox too. There's no reason, right? Oh boy, what's going on in the chat, man? Yeah, and rightfully so. If you can play PlayStation games on Xbox eventually, which means that's going to cannibalize into PlayStation sales and PlayStation game sales, which obviously they don't want. So I think this is probably the part of the reason why they went back on their strategy and then said, fuck it, we're not gonna be releasing our own exclusives on PC. Fuck you guys. If you wanna play our games, buy a fucking PS5. Makes sense. Makes sense, right? And I think that's the reason. I can't really think of any other reason as to why they would do that, but yeah, and it's not completely surprising, because Nintendo is still not doing any of this shit. They're still keeping all their games very close and tight around Switch consoles, and not letting anyone play their games unless you go to like a website like myemulator.com and play all the NES games or N64 games. You can play it for free. um, Otherwise, there's no other way to play them, right? So, yeah, I'm not surprised. And they have seen the fall of Xbox trying to, go multi-platform with their exclusives and fucking, biting the dust and having to re-strategize. So, makes sense. Makes sense. Black Flag Remaster is gonna earn millions this year alone. Black Flag, you talking about Ubisoft? Yeah, if they do Black Flag right, like we still haven't seen anything on Black Flag, so I don't know if they will end up earning millions yet, but we'll see. We'll see. If they have learned their lessons, yeah, they should. They should. Did I try KCD2? Yeah, bro. Of course I did. KCD2 is one of the best games of 2025. I feel like it should have gotten more recognition, but yeah. Okay. So, Resident Evil. While we on that topic, it has become the fastest selling game in franchise history. Like, The heck? It's so weird. And I'm just looking at this article. It's saying that uh, it has become the fastest selling games, selling over 5 million copies in a ridiculously short space of time. That is crazy. Man, I'm looking at the Metacritics right now, and it's so weird looking at this. The first one, the first top game is Clay Obscure. Okay, I get it. Second one has already become Resident Evil Requiem, but the third one is Disney. What the heck is this? Disney Corey in the House. That came out for Nintendo DS. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. The Division 2 crossplay is hype with the new map and zones. Dude, I haven't played Division 2 in so long. It's been a while. It's been a while. Now that we are playing Arc Raiders, there's even less need to play the Division, to be honest. But I believe you. Division is such an awesome game, very underrated. They've been improving it a lot, so I get it. Am I Indian? No, I'm Sri Lankan. Uh, anything but Claire Obscure. We have talked enough about Claire Obscure, so I totally get it. But I don't know if I have faith in this Metacritic list, best games by user score, because the third game is Disney Corey in the House, you know? Yeah. So I don't know. And The Witcher is all the way at 7 before 2 Metal Gears and 1 Silent Hill. So I don't know, dude. And they are good, but I don't know. It's a little weird. Division 3 is coming. Yeah, it is. Corey in the House is my favorite. Bro, I gotta check this out. What the heck is Corey in the House? Like, honestly. I don't think I played this game. It came out on Nintendo or in the house. What do you even do? Seriously, bro? This is Corey in the House. Nice. They really made these games. Yeah, it looks very hard, dude. I can't believe this shit came out on Nintendo DS. Why have I not heard about this game? I know Corey in the House, but I didn't even know they had a game. Oh, anyway, that's the third best-selling, best user score game according to Metacritic. My God, that is crazy. But anyway, according to Metacritic, Resident Evil Requiem is already in the second place, which is awesome. Disney show version of Pokemon. Oh, okay. Maybe. I maybe get it. All right. Well, moving on to something that I wanna watch with you guys. It is a new game that is coming out in a couple of months, I believe. We talked about this game a few months back, and it's a indie game by a new and upcoming developing studio based in Sri Lanka. And I was super excited about it especially because we haven't had a game, at least any kind of game with the quality production level that can compete with the global video game industry coming out of Sri Lanka before. So I'm super happy for them. This was shown off in Tokyo Game Show last year, and it had fairly positive reception. And now they have released a gameplay trailer. So I wanted to watch it. It's called Song of Kings, and it looks pretty special. It's not like a huge budget blockbuster game. It's a very small indie game with like some puzzling and platforming. So adjust your expectations, obviously. But I am super happy because if this actually takes off, this would be like really, really big milestone, huge milestone for the video game industry in South Asia, especially in countries, smaller countries like Sri Lanka. So let's check it out. This is the gameplay. Let's check it out. Guys, can you hear? I'll put this up. It's Mogo Games. All footage captured in engine, including gameplay and cinematics. Alright. Shit, that looks good.
These markings, they're not random.
I'm not sure about the voice acting.
For me!
The game looks kind of good and cute. So it looks like the flute
Where are you going?
is a game mechanic. From the initial trailer, the gameplay actually looks much better than I expected. It's giving me kind of like Disney Pixar cartoon vibes. That's cool. I like it. Like Kena, the Bridge of Spirits. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Very short gameplay trailer, but I'm here for it, dude. This is there's a demo dropping pretty soon for this game, I believe, and I'm definitely going to be trying that when it comes and giving you guys my 2 cents on how I found it, obviously, and yeah, I'm really excited for the full game and to check it out and see how it goes because, like I said, it's from an indie game company, very small indie game company based in Sri Lanka, very small team making it, and for the first time, I feel like a game is coming out that can really hold up its standards to a global level, at least in the indie gaming space. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Good luck to you, Mogo Games. Uh, mm, all right. Other than that, what I want to talk about next is, uh, oh yeah, the we also have news that HighGuard is going bye bye. We kind of predicted this when first HighGuard came up. We all tried it. If you tune into my HighGuard stream, we literally jumped in as soon as it came, and we were like, "Holy shit! What the heck is this?" We were trying so hard to like it. I remember. We were trying very, very hard to not bash on the game and actually give it a fair chance. Um, There you go. There you go. And I said, this is gonna go away very soon. I don't think this is gonna stick around because, like, yeah, while what they were trying to do was like commendable, um, it kind of sucked. Yeah, five. Yeah, there was no 5v5 play. Although they did actually fix that pretty soon after they dropped it, to give them credit, because that was like one of the biggest issues with the game, the fact that you can't do 5v5 multiplayer, which is very odd for a game like that to be able to limit it to 3v3. and the whole thing felt empty. But they did fix it and increased it back to 5v5. But it's a little bit too late, right? It's a little bit too late. And I said maybe give it a month or two max. This will be delisted and this will be shut down. And my prediction is coming true. This March 12th. They are going to shut down the game on March 12th. Yes, it is literally in another 6 days. They are doing it very soon. And I mean, I get it. If you look at their performance on Steam right now, they got whole of 245 players playing this game. 245 right now, and 24-hour peak has gone to 430 players globally on Steam, which is, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I mean, this is where we were at, okay? This is where we were at. 97,000, and then it dropped down to this much. Oh yeah, like something $1 million, right? Like 200 million or some shit like that. A crazy number. But it turned out that they didn't actually pay that money. It was actually Jeff Keighley put it in the last slot because he liked it so much and he wanted to show it off last. But I think in reality, what he did actually end up hurting the game and gave it very much unnecessary marketing and attention the game needed. This should have been dropped without that much of a hype, and it probably would have survived with a, dedicated player base. But yeah, I think it got overhyped, and people, when shit get overhyped, people turn away so pretty quickly. Even potential players that would have stick with it, they don't tend to try it out because there's so much negative marketing attached to it. And I think that's what happened to HighGuard. The same shit that happened to Concord. And it turns out it is Concord 2.0 after all, because now it's getting delisted so soon, barely 2 months after its launch, and on March 12th, which is totally unrelated note, it's the same day as me and my missus' anniversary. Not the wedding anniversary, our anniversary, the day we got together, I suppose. Speaking of anniversary, I will be away the whole weekend of that week, next week actually. So, but I will be doing my Friday stream. So, anyway. So getting back to this, yeah, HighGuard is going away, unfortunately, and according to what this article says, this is the statement they've released on HighGuard. Well, all right, HighGuard's final update arriving soon. Thank you for playing with us. They're still updating it. I don't know why. Blah blah blah. Team is excited to release final game update to enjoy the remaining life of the game. We'll be adding a new warden, a new weapon, account level progression, and skill trees. Full patch notes are coming. Dude, they put this up on when? When was this? March 4th. Ugh. What the heck? What? I don't get that. They're putting a new warden. A new weapon, account level progression, and skill trees to the game while announcing that the game will be shut down on March 12th. I'm super fucking confused. Why would they just do that? This was only announced on March. This was announced 2 days ago. What is the point? Man, you get to enjoy all this new shit and skill trees for a week, a whole week, and a day more. That's got to be exciting, I suppose, right? I don't know. Very weird, very very weird. But anyway, it's gone. So no, they did. Look at it. Look, if you read this right now, just I'll make it big. This is okay. It's saying today we are sharing difficult news. We have made the decision to permanently shut down HighGuard March 2. And then March 12th. And then in the same post, they're saying the team is excited to release one final game update. We'll be adding new water, new weapon, account level progression, and skill trees. They're adding skill trees 8 days before it's shut down. Like, anyway, I mean, I'm pretty sure like they were working on it and this stuff had ready to go. So so they're just putting it out. Might as well. Maybe that's probably why. But I feel like still it's kind of pointless. Like, unless I don't know, like 8 days to work on this. Anyway, well, bye HighGuard. It's been real, I guess. We knew this was coming. Hopefully, companies realize that shit like these games don't work as well as people hope, and they need to do better. They need to focus on things that people really want, not necessarily game models that make money for them, because just because you make an online service game doesn't mean shit if it's not good enough, and if it doesn't have the ability to replace what people are playing. So gave us a few moments that were kind of fun. Bit of a hit and miss. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. And like I said before, I was gonna talk separately about the whole thing about Xbox. What's interesting is there's not much to talk about other than other than the fact that the new CEO of Xbox, Asha Sharma, yes, it's a girl who was in charge of the AI division of Microsoft, now looking after Xbox. And she has announced that they will be returning to Xbox console, and revealed the whole Project Helix, which is the code name for the new Xbox console. Yeah, name for our next generation console. Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. This is what got everybody riled up. The fact that they said it will play Xbox and PC games, although they didn't specify if it's just through Xbox Store or if it's going to be Steam games. If it's going to be Steam games and Epic games and stuff like that, like, you basically don't need a PC. You can just buy an Xbox and play everything. Oh boy. That will be huge if that's the case. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But that's been announced. And she also did a thing. Where is it? I'm trying to... trying to find the article I was looking at. Oh yeah. So this article that we were looking at before, this is from Microsoft. They actually put this out when Asha Sharma got named the new CEO of Xbox, and it's just there's a lot of gibberish. There's a lot of business jargon and corporate speak in it. And I was reading through the whole thing, and it has like I've actually highlighted some shit that I want to talk about. It has things like hang on, yeah, like little things like the return of Xbox, right? We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, blah 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 blah. Like, okay, cool. And then things like where is it? There's I'm just looking it up because I marked it. Yeah, and there's an urgency because gaming is in a period of rapid change, and we need to move with clarity and conviction. Okay, okay, cool. I guess clarity and conviction, and they're saying, like, not chase short-term efficiency. It said somewhere. Where did I say it? Yeah, here. As monetization and AI evolve and influence its future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop, says the person who was head of Microsoft AI division and now coming to look after Xbox. I still don't have enough confidence or faith in this appointment, because not because anything to do with who she is or her capabilities. She just hasn't proven anything yet. She's just saying a lot of corporate jargon in this message, which doesn't really give me confidence. But there's a lot of shit has been said here, okay. But the only thing that really gave me an inch of insight into where she might be heading, which doesn't give me confidence, by the way, is the fact that she said something. Where was it? Something. Where is it? Let me look it up. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. We will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. Okay. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. It's saying, okay, I put emphasis on shared platform because this all sounds like great when you read it out, Oh, we built a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. Wow, okay. That feels very cool. But you know what she's really saying in my head? Fuck, kids love Fortnite and kids love Roblox. And they make games themselves. How do we get a piece of that? That kind of that's really what she's saying. So I don't know, dude. It doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me as to where things are going with Xbox, but they're trying something, I guess. They're trying something. So let's see. Let's see where that goes. Okay. All right, to finish off, we have our first review of Control Resonant. Control Resonant, which is the sequel to Control by our Remedy is it Remedy Interactive? Remedy Entertainment, I believe. Folks at Remedy, their newest game set in the Alan Wake universe. They have finally, not them, IGN has a first look preview. So let's look at it together and see what the hell they have to say. Okay, here we go. We're doing it.
The reveal trailer for Control Resonant, the
it's Ryan McCaffrey.
IGN's 2019 Game of the Year, made a few things clear right off the bat. First, we wouldn't be playing as Jesse Faden anymore, but rather her brother, Dylan. Second,
you know that?
we'd no longer be confined to the brutalist architecture of the oldest house.
Yep.
Instead, we'd be trying to navigate our way through a Manhattan that had literally folded up on itself, Inception style, as a result of the hiss getting out. And third,
That's cool.
Dylan isn't wielding Jesse's badass transforming service weapon or even one similar to it. Instead, he's got his own badass transforming weapon, the Aberrant, a massive hammer that brings combat into much closer quarters than before. Remedy showed off a bit of proper gameplay at Sony's recent State of Play, but I've had the pleasure since then of getting an extended hands-off look at more gameplay, along with learning more information from the lead gameplay designer and the creative director.
Looks
What
like
I
this
came
is
away
ready.
with surprised me.
More ready than we
I
thought.
adored the first Control, but early indications are that I might like Resident even more. Why?
Ooh.
It's not just that it's a markedly different and not just samey sequel, but it's that its melee combat might scratch my Ninja Gaiden style itch.
All right, you know what? That's pretty cool because Remedy is very good at pivoting very hard with their sequels and like still doing a bang up job on their games. They did it with Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2, which is a completely different vibe and it plays very different to the first game and still did a home run with that. And Control was a new IP and then we didn't know at the time when Control came out that it was, you know, attached to the Alan Wake universe, but still managed to do really, really well. The only kind of crappy game they have put out recently is the online PvP crap that that was set in the Control building called FC Firebreak, whatever it was called. That lasted the whole of 2 weeks. So that was shit. Other than that, the single player games have been like pretty like great, fantastic, right? And each single entry that they did has been quite different to the last one, and they applying the same principle with Control. First one was a long range, like range weapon combat, because you're essentially dealing with different types of guns. It is the same gun, but it changes in a way that it becomes either a pistol or a shotgun or an SMG or an assault rifle. That was the thing of it, and that was great. That was pretty great. And then now this is completely different. You're not dealing with guns anymore. You're now completely melee focused. Different types of melee weapons, which is awesome. And I really dig it. And it's not confined to the building anymore, which is awesome. I'm here for it, dude.
Quote, "This is not a Souls-like."
I don't want it to be a Souls-like.
Designer Sergei Mohov. It's a push-forward, action-driven, aggressive playstyle action game. The player is very much in charge and not simply reacting. The main driver of combat is you. Tell me more, Remedy.
Yes, do tell.
Do you feel it? Something is coming.
If you're down here in Melbourne, the
Remedy
winter is
calling
coming.
Control Resident an action RPG, and while the studio confirmed there won't be a ton of gear or inventory management, it's not a survival game, it's an action game, said creative director Mikhail Kasurinen. The team did show off some of its systemic depth. For one, there are talents, which Remedy says are, quote, the glue that ties your weapons and combat abilities together. One such example
It's a skill
is
tree.
Perfect Dodge, which grants you a temporary boost to your next attack if you, as the name implies, time your dodge perfectly. Others include Extended Dash, self-explanatory, Backstab Damage, and Sustained Assault. Remedy also made it clear that
Pretty
you
straightforward.
can't unlock everything in a single playthrough. You'll also have ample opportunity to customize your build in the Gap. No, not the department store. It functions similar to Alan Wake 2's Mind Place.
Oh.
Here, you can test out various abilities earned by defeating Residents, the bosses. The Gap also allows you to tweak your Aberrant including the primary forms, secondary forms, and combo enders, or finishers. A big goal is giving players more choice with their gameplay style. Like, for instance, if you'd prefer to tailor your build to focus on turning enemies to fight on your side, you can do that. Lots of stats are also exposed in the gap if you want to min-max your build. Less meaningful customization, meaning the cosmetic kind rather than the gameplay kind, happens in FBC field offices around Manhattan. Remedy describes these as the heart of FBC activity, saying they'll evolve over time as the Hiss crisis overtaking Manhattan deepens. As everyone there is trying to figure out how to deal with the disaster out the window, you can customize your outfit.
Pretty cool. I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm hearing, dude.
Manhattan, which is split into several districts, aims to be visually distinct from zone to zone. Remedy wants to have more visual variety across the world. The team also knows that the map was frustrating in the first game, and so they showed off a work-in-progress version of it that clearly delineates each zone and seemed easy enough to follow along with. But what of the markers on that map?
Cool.
You'll have your choice of two major categories of quests at any given time. Dylan's Journey, aka the Golden Path, and World Quests, or basically side quests.
Well, yeah.
In addition, there are smaller action bits and tiny puzzles, seemingly akin to unmarked micro gameplay moments. Through these, you can discover...
Alright, sorry. Interjecting. This is giving me major prototype vibes. No? No? Do you know what prototype is? I don't know. For those who have been... who's watching this and was born after 2005 or something, I'm sorry, dude. Like, you're probably not gonna know what that was. But there was, before the time of, you know, games like Infamous 1, 2, and 3, Second Son, there was a game called Prototype, which was essentially you are an anti-hero or vigilante with superpowers that essentially allows you to morph your hand and your body into different types of weapon. You're kind of like a supercharged Venom on steroid that can like do some crazy shit and also fly and crap. Like this is giving, like, it's a little bit more tame than Prototype, but it has some crazy, you know, it's an open world game, much like this, where you do, you know, hop from building to building and doing stuff. It is giving me a little bit of that kind of vibe, which is awesome because we haven't actually seen a game like that in a while. The last time a game like that came was Infamous Second Son. And we haven't seen an open world city game where you're playing as kind of like an anti-hero like Dylan in a while. So this is good. I'm really hyped for this. Really hyped for this because I love Prototype and I like Infamous. This is giving me that kind of vibe.
For both
I'm here for it.
And lore. We want the world to be someplace you want to return to, Sony said. In one early mission I got a brief look at, Dylan enters the Central District office of Zoe de Vera, a new character to control who speaks to Dylan through his earpiece throughout the campaign. She also assigns him missions. She's often found listening to music, and Remedy promises that music will play a big part in Resident's world building.
Interesting.
A clip of a conversation between Dylan and Zoe showcased the new dialogue system, which sadly I don't have footage of, but now not only very welcomingly gives you multiple choices for every answer, but also lets you carry out these conversations while moving.
Any updates for me?
Kind of.
Interesting.
You'll know it when you hear it.
Remedy's emphasis on player-initiated action even extends to not cementing you in place during dialogue sequences, which I can appreciate. Oh, and on this note, Remedy said that while Dylan's dialogue choices are there to give you a bit more agency over character interactions, they're not going to meaningfully alter the story. In other words, Remedy confirmed there won't be multiple endings to Resident's story.
Of course. That I'm not surprised about because Remedy has always been pretty tight with their storytelling. They didn't dilute their, the story impact and the storytelling prowess by giving you multiple ending and player choice. That wasn't their thing. That's never been their thing. Their thing has always been giving you a pretty freaking tight, super awesome story and do some amazing storytelling while they at it, and they've done it with pretty much all their games, including Alan Wake 2 being the latest entry. Freaking amazing, I'll tell you. And I'm expecting the same with this, and they've obviously done it a few times now and has a lot of experience in that department. So I don't expect anything different, and I think that's the right choice. I think if they start giving players multiple endings and alternating dialogue and stuff like that, that'll really affect the impact of the story itself, and especially the ending. The endings are hard hitting in these games, Remedy games. So I understand why they didn't do that. I'm fine with that. That's pretty badass, man.
As Control Resonant is only at its alpha stage of development, I wasn't yet able to see a continuous, uninterrupted section of gameplay. Instead, I got to look at a number of 1 to 2 minute gameplay clips. But once Remedy broke out the action, my eyes opened wider. Control's melee-oriented sequel is not only faster paced than its predecessor, it's faster paced than I was expecting. I was mentally prepared for a Souls-like experience, maybe something akin to the Star Wars Jedi games from Respawn. But no, in the action I saw, it's got some lightning in its veins. I won't call it Ninja Gaiden fast, but it's in the Devil May Cry Bayonetta neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Dylan was constantly jumping up, floating, attacking, dodging, strafing, performing finishing moves, and
That's
rinsing
cool.
and repeating in rapid succession. And, I should add, all of this was happening with a lot of enemies surrounding Dylan at once. These are clearly not going to be one-on-one fights, which I admit is what I was expecting based on the gameplay clips teased at the end of the debut trailer. Oh, and speaking of
I wasn't
fights,
expecting that.
I also got a slightly less brief look at the Dancer Resonant fight, very briefly featured at the end of the State of Play gameplay trailer. It's not enough to make any judgments on just yet, especially not without getting to play them for myself, but they've certainly got the potential to be memorable moments in the campaign.
Cool.
Pace yourself.
In a Q&A session after the gameplay presentation, I learned a bit more about what Remedy has planned for this sequel. The team did preface the conversation by saying they'd talk more about narrative and characters later in the year, closer to Resonant's release, but for now, there are nevertheless some relevant new details to share. First, on the technical side, Remedy has tuned its in-house game engine Northlight to enhance draw distance and support more enemies on screen at once. They also want to make sure they're hitting a solid 60 frames per second on all platforms.
Yes.
Second, will enemies respawn? Mojave replied, quote, "To a degree, yes, but there's more nuance," end quote. Apparently, that nuance ties to the narrative that Remedy isn't quite ready to dive into yet. Next, is a fully range-based build possible? Mojave said, quote, "The main weapon is the Aberrant, and that's Dylan's preferred method of combat. It's never going to be ranged only," so that answers that. Interestingly, Kasurian
expected
said,
that.
quote, "Music plays a huge part. Zoe's definitely in the middle of that, and it's part of how they bond.
That's
We
interesting.
don't want music to just be a thing you listen to. It becomes part of the overall flow."
That's an interesting point that they're making, because I saw music playing a huge part in Alan Wake 2 as well, more so than it ever did in previous other games. And they put a lot of work into music of Alan Wake 2, which is awesome, by the way. If you played Alan Wake 2, you know what I'm talking about. And it was like a kind of an elevated experience when you play the game. and totally surprising, totally unexpected. So I can see they taking a similar approach with Control 2, Control Resonant, and trying to incorporate music in a meaningful way, because they did it in Alan Wake 2, and why not do it for this? So totally get it. Totally get it.
The music is part of that experience, and that's hugely important to us, and we want to find our own way of doing it. As for influences on Resonant, Kasurinen acknowledged Neon Genesis Evangelion and, for the dialogue system, one of my favorite walking simulators, Firewatch.
Firewatch
was
is
a big
awesome.
inspiration for this, he said. Finally, as expected, you certainly do not need to have played the first Control or the Remedy Connected Universe Alan Wake games to enjoy the story or characters of Resonant. And with that, my very impressive demo of Control Resonant ended, and I was left wondering if there's a chance we might be playing this sequel sooner rather than later. No, Remedy isn't ready to reveal a release date just yet, and I'd still wager it's going to ship in the second half of the year, but if the studio is showing off behind closed doors gameplay right after its first gameplay trailer, which itself came very shortly after its reveal trailer, combined with the looming meteor impact that will be Grand Theft Auto 6's release in November, I can't help but be left with a healthy dose of optimism that this could land closer to Control 1's August release month than Alan Wake 2's late October window. Is this just wishful thinking on my part? Quite possibly.
Yeah.
And with how packed this year's slate...
I don't know if it's a good thing to actually release this closer to GTA, or anywhere be closer to that, because everything in GTA's path will get overshadowed by... will be overshadowed. I lost my train of thought. So I think if they release it in August, probably okay, especially given that this is going to be, pretty, not too super long. You can probably do this in a month, right? So that would be good. August is a pretty good date, but yeah, I wouldn't even bother releasing this anywhere close to GTA, because people are tuned in and ready to buy that and sink all their free time into that for months to come. Some people that will be years, but yeah, I would avoid, if that's the case, this year altogether and just release it next year. But it looks like the game is pretty ready. Like, looking at the footage, that looks pretty well into the development cycle. They probably have to polish it a little bit, obviously, but it looks like they've done a lot of work into that. So this might be sooner than we think. We have a fair amount of gaps between end of April all the way towards October months. There's pretty much no big games are coming out during that time, so I would say August is a pretty good time to release this game.
Of big games is, I'm not sure there's really a quiet time that any game will get all to itself. But after seeing Control Resonant's aggressive, fast-paced combat for myself, I'm even more fired up to get my hands on it. For more previews of the biggest
Okay, so that's Control Resonant. Are you guys excited? Let me know. But yeah, I think that concludes our stream today. I did say this is going to be a pretty short stream. And it's the first stream after a very long while of absence from my side. So yeah, that's it, man. That's it for today. But this also hopefully means that I can keep doing this, stick to this time. Every Friday night we'll do this. But yeah, I think, hey, Sukor, thanks for tuning in, man. Oh, Arc Raiders. You can do some Arc Raiders. It would be lovely. I'm down for some Hurricane runs if you are. Can you please react to my TikTok edit? Is it game related? If it is, I might. Otherwise, I'm not really reacting to people's stuff on. I've tried doing that before and had a very interesting outcome. So, oh, bro, I'm not doing a hurricane run on Arc Raiders by myself. Get off the bed. Get off the bed. Join an Arc Raiders run, bro. What the hell? Come on. But yeah, this is it for me today. Unfortunately, I do have to go do some adulting after this. So after that, I think this is a good time. I think this actually works for me. Friday nights, 6 p.m. sounds like something that I can put time aside in. So that would be good. Well, if you are coming, I will play. Otherwise, I'm not playing by myself. That's it. That's my verdict. So yeah, ping me if you are joining, and I'll hop on, and I will see you next week, Friday. Yeah, 6 p.m. on Friday sounds good. I'll lock that in, and we'll see if we can do that. Do I play Siege? No, bro. There was a time I did play Siege, but now I am pretty much exclusively playing Arc Raiders, if you didn't catch that from my t-shirt. And also Battlefield 6 when I have the time. Really don't have time for much else, unfortunately. So, oh, you're the champ, top 50. Oh, Ali, Suko was the champ, top 50 in Europe. Oh yeah, it's been a hot minute. Anyway, Zukar, please join our Arc Raiders run if you want. You got all my information there. You can join us if you would like. You can play some Arc Raiders. But yeah, unfortunately, not Siege. Don't have time for that, mate. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week, Friday, 6 p.m. Bye-bye. All right.
Alright, tried the paradigm. The underdog's logging off. Baby! Thanks for hanging out for laughs, memes, and gaming clout. Even if I tripped, lost, or failed, you stuck around and that prevailed. We checked trailers, spilled the tea, mispronounced a game or three. Call of Duty fails, oh that's me. But the chat laughed along, pure victory. Grab your snacks, hydrate up, don't fall asleep. I'll be back soon with news to peep. The underdog may stumble, trip, or rage, but you're the legends who fill my stage. Grab your snacks, hydrate up, don't fall asleep. I'll be back soon with news to peep. The underdog may stumble, trip, or rage, but you're the legends who fill my stage.
Attention chat, Jaybeazt is officially signing off. He may try to explain the plot of a game he hasn't played, argue with NPCs about story choices, or get stuck in the tutorial forever. And if someone says something wild in chat, he might go,
Oh mate, don't say that! Thanks for surviving the chaos, laughing at my fails, and pretending my Call of Duty aim is fine. Catch you next time, same underdog energy, less chaos, maybe. But thanks for surviving the chaos, laughing at my fails, and pretending my Call of Duty aim is fine. Catch you next time, same underdog energy, less chaos, maybe.